I know this channel is not really that huge, but way back I put a video on my other channel, Degenerate J, when I was doing even more variety over there. I was even doing RPG games at the time before I split off on this channel. Back in 2017, I made a review when I got the Kingdom Hearts Final Chapter Prologue. I don't know if you remember this disc, but it was 2.8, and it was actually released with a couple of different things, including the Kingdom Hearts film, the animated film, of course. It had the introduction to Kingdom Hearts 3, so you had a fragmentary passage with Aqua, sort of an epilogue to Birth by Sleep, but a prequel to Kingdom Hearts 3. And of course, as well, it had a remastered version of Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. Now, it was reworked for the PlayStation 4, and it's been released on other systems since then, including PC, but at the time, I reviewed this for about 8 minutes. I had bad audio quality in a lot of ways. I feel like I was less informed on game design. I feel like I was a little less informed on the Kingdom Hearts lore, but I wanted to share this with you because I wanted to look back at it together, kind of smile. You know, it's fun to see how far these channels have come, even though they're not huge by any means. I'm proud of them. So I wanted to share this with you today. Hopefully you enjoy it. There will be ways to support this channel and our other channels as well. I do want to thank my members from my other channel. They've made branching out to this channel possible, which I truly appreciate. And I will talk to you again throughout the video or at the end. So let's hop right into it.
Oh my word, guys. So many games coming out this time of year, and I still got a backlog. So I've decided to take this opportunity to review an old game in order to motivate myself to play it. Yep, that's how this works now.
All right, I'm not going to interrupt this much, but I did want to say I think it's really funny, the music that I chose. I don't know what was going on here, but it sounds like I'm getting ready to actually fight a bull.
I've decided to take this opportunity to review an old...
Like we've got trumpets going and everything. I don't know what was happening here.
So, new Kingdom Hearts games just came out. You'd think maybe I'd review one of those. Nope. We're going to go back to the, well, it's kind of new on PS4 at least, to Dream Drop Distance, because I never got to play this sucker on the 3DS. Let's take a look at it.
So with any video game, there's a lot of things going on. You got gameplay, you've got art direction, character designs, the story. I've always been of the opinion that gameplay is most important because it is a video game and you have to play it, but that doesn't mean the other things are not important. As far as gameplay, I can say that Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance has a lot going on that's positive. It's got really fluid combat. The command list actually borrows a lot from Birth by Sleep, with being able to meld certain commands to the list, instead of just having to rely on things like reaction commands from Kingdom Hearts 2. So there definitely are callbacks and things that this game borrows from. But something that I really enjoy is the movement system. Better known as flow motion is actually not only good for getting around, but for chaining into combat. Now, the one problem with this system is that on any difficulty below critical, you can at times abuse it to get hits in, but it's a gameplay mechanic. I don't know, I don't really think it's unfair. It's just something that is more easy to take advantage of at times than to focus on your command list. With that said, it actually does make the environments flow together better though. I mean, it feels more organic and like you're able to traverse the environments more fluidly than just running around. And even though there are some problems with the environments in this game, which I'll get to in a bit, it certainly is a nice change up to be able to fly around without just gliding and have other interactable elements that help you get around the worlds that you'll encounter. One complaint I've seen in the past about Kingdom Hearts, and even one that I've had, is actually that sometimes the controls just hurt. Now, what I mean by this is that you're playing an action RPG. You're going to be mashing the X button a lot, and in some of the past games, Kingdom Hearts 2 especially, that can get noticeable over time.
So obviously, other than the audio balancing and the audio quality and video quality, I wondered what would age from 2017. Now, this is a statement that I think is true still, but something I didn't remember that I said because it was, what, like 8 years ago at this point almost? When I recorded this, and I still do have these conditions, I had a couple of pretty bad chronic pain issues, and those really affected my hands. They still do, but not nearly to the same extent because I have medications, things like that. I have fibromyalgia, I have erythromyalgia, among some other genetic things. So for me, I'm more sensitive to ergonomics, to how you hold controllers, how you use your hands, things like that, how you sit. And I find it interesting to see past me bringing this up in this review. It's something that I think now I know when to take breaks. I know how to pace myself. I have my medication, so that helps. And also I've found that I don't have as much time to game, so I'm not constantly playing games like Kingdom Hearts. But I think it's interesting, you know, for present me to hear this stuff from past me. I have no idea if it'll be interesting for anyone else. I do think it's kind of an interesting look in, though, the accessibility of this franchise, because it is very fast-paced combat. When you get things like this, or Devil May Cry, or really any hack and slash, it's going to be kind of hard for some people to do. I just completely forgot that this was something I dealt with when playing this game, but looking back, I think this really did affect me a lot with this game and Birth by Sleep. So I don't know, just a little time capsule thought I found kind of interesting. And also watching this back makes me want to re-review this game again in the modern day.
Now, I will point out that I did play this on PS4, like I said, and the PS4 controller, much more comfortable than the 3DS one. Now, I still have to take breaks at times. For those of you who follow my channel, you might know that I do have like a chronic pain condition, so like sometimes for me that stuff is more uncomfortable than other people. I've seen other people complain about it in the past with these games, but especially Dream Drop Distance, I saw a lot of complaints on the 3DS version about that, because the 3DS is a little not ergonomic, you know? Unless you have one of those grips, it's not like a controller. So that is hard and flat, and the buttons are not really meant to be mashed. What I will say is with the PS4 controller, that's not as much of a problem, especially for people who might not ever have had issues with these games on controllers before. So if you can play games like Devil May Cry just completely comfortably, doesn't bother you, you're gonna have absolutely no problems with this game. But if, you know, stuff like that, you get sore after a while, I would say take breaks every half an hour, 45 minutes, and you will enjoy the game a lot. I know I certainly did. The combat was a little slower, but like, just because you're able to substitute the mashing with some of your command list buttons, like hitting triangle to do sliding dash, or one of many other shortcuts. So other than these things, there's only two gameplay mechanics I want to mention that are newer, and one of them is kind of a Birth by Sleep thing in a way. That one is character switching, and it's not really new, but I guess the way they call it, the dropping, is new. So you can drop between Sora and Riku. It's basically two story modes that are interconnected. It's a little hard to explain. I would definitely say play the game if you want to find out more about that, because I am going to be avoiding story spoilers specifically in this video, but we will talk a little bit about the story as a whole. That said, I honestly enjoyed playing as Riku more, both in combat and in the story, but I think it's a cool feature to have that we haven't really seen since Birth by Sleep much at all. The other one is diving. Diving is really just the new gummy ship missions without a gummy ship. You're diving to worlds from outer space or from above, and you are playing a little mini game where you fall towards the planet, trying to do different objectives as you fall. Sometimes that's fighting different enemies like a boss, and sometimes that's just surviving the fall, but cool either way. Definitely a neat inclusion. So I want to briefly just talk about the story, but I don't want to get too into it because Square's not a huge fan of, you know, going deep into story spoilers, which I understand.
Oh yeah, I just realized, so this was during the time when Square and Atlas and some other companies, even Rockstar, and these are very dumb ideas, I think, but they had these ideas that they could limit who streamed their games, in what way they streamed them, what they talked about. Like they had these things like we will give you a strike or we'll remove your video or whatever if you share too many spoilers. Or for Atlas, it was like, if you play Persona 5 and you play past this date in a Let's Play or stream, we'll remove your video because it ruins the game for people. And I really think it was just, as much as I love Japanese game companies, the Japanese are amazing at innovation, but they don't like adapting, like changing. Whereas I would argue the West changes way too much. You know, like there's kind of a balance in here. Like look at Nintendo. You know, Nintendo took forever to move away from some of their very silly rules around people sharing video games online through Let's Plays and stuff like that, or any transformative content. That's an example of being slow to adapt to new technology. But then, of course, you look at Nintendo, extremely innovative as a company, right? So it's interesting to me where you had the West adapting in some ways too quickly with some of these companies, other than Rockstar, of course. They were very, very butthurt about people playing their games. And then you have other companies in the East adapting too slowly to the growth of YouTube at this time. Keep in mind, 2017. So 8 years ago, there were a lot of weird rules around reviewing games or really doing anything. I find that kind of fascinating to look back at as well, because I didn't really remember that was something that I had to think about when making this review. That's really interesting to me.
And this is also just a quick review anyway. I don't want to give away everything that happens in the game, just talk a little bit about the general tone of the story and some things that I think are worth considering before playing the game, or even after. Now, I've always really liked the Kingdom Hearts stories. I don't ever have, I mean, I would never claim that they were the best ever, that they were the best video game stories ever made, and that's a really slippery slope anyway, considering it's, you know, a video game. The story is probably the least important part of it. The most important part is that it's fun, right? But Kingdom Hearts has been dragging a story on for a long, long time. Ever since Kingdom Hearts 1, the entire plot premise is kind of focused around one main villain, which is Xehanort.
I remember Xehanort did give up his body. It was a version of him that was possessing Riku.
And I will tell you, that doesn't really change here. There's a lot of permutations of the idea. There's some really crazy things thrown in here. I will say time travel plays a part in this game. It really does. That's not even a joke. So that was kind of unexpected, but I don't know. I will say this is my least favorite Kingdom Hearts story out of all of them, including, well, I'm not including Coded. I'm not going to include Coded in that, but out of all the main, what I consider the main Kingdom Hearts games, it is my least favorite. It's not bad by any means as far as the story, but it's certainly not breaking new ground, and it's not amazing. It really felt like it was trying to tie up a lot of like loose plot points and plot holes, but it actually ends up introducing a lot more questions than it answers, which I think is a bit of a problem. That said, if you're going to play Kingdom Hearts 3, this is the game that will be the closest to a lead-in to that game other than Fragmentary Passage. So this takes place after Kingdom Hearts 2 in the interim between 2 and 3. So if you're going to be playing 3, this is still pretty essential to play. And that's another big problem with all of these main/side Kingdom Hearts games, because it is both. It's basically essential filler. It does push the story forward somewhat, and it is a side game because it's not a numbered title, but it's still a main game in the sense that if you want to understand everything going on, you really do need to play it. Overall, I thought the game was very fun. It's got some of the best Kingdom Hearts gameplay I've experienced in a long, long time. So the gameplay is just well done and above average. The only thing that I say held the game back was really the story, but that's subjective. I've also seen people say they really loved the story. Anyway, guys, this was just a real quick review into this game. Let me know what you're thinking. Tell me, give me some feedback. Let me know what you thought of the game, or what your thoughts are, or even some things you'd like to see a full review or a quick review of in the future. If you like the video, guys, please leave a like on the video. It actually does help the channel out a lot. The engagement helps us out, and it helps us know what you guys enjoy. And hit me up in the comments. We don't get a lot of comments, so I'm usually responding to pretty much everyone that I see. I like talking to you guys. So, I'll be seeing you later. Peace out.
So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed a bit of a time capsule here going back to the year of 2017. At this point, it's basically the year of, 2000 BC in internet years. A lot of time has passed, but Cosmo is enjoying his crinkly paper as well. He didn't even exist back then. Think about that. He wasn't even a twinkle in his father's eye, my cat Cosmo. It's interesting how times have changed, though. I feel like a lot of my opinions on this game are the same, but a lot have also kind of changed. I feel like there's different things I prioritize in game design and in enjoying games. And overall, something I didn't really even mention here is how good the Riku storyline is in this game, really even compared to Sora. I think that I will take another look at this game soon. I don't really know when, but I do kind of want to re-review and talk about the Kingdom Hearts games. And I would love to do a more modern review of this because I feel like I didn't talk about Riku's story, how much I liked that, how much it developed his character. I thought it was way better than his one in Chain and Rechain of Memories, but also how this game regressed Sora a little bit from where he was at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. I just feel like a lot of this video I spent stammering and kind of yapping and not really knowing what I wanted to say because, again, it was, 8 years ago. So hopefully my videos have improved since then. If you enjoyed the video, you want to leave a like, subscribe, let me know what you think. I appreciate you very much. There's a lot of ways to support this channel. Huge thank you to my channel members over on my other channel, Degenerate J, because they make it possible for me to make videos like this as well by helping support us on Patreon and also there. So if you're interested, the Patreon link will be in the description down below. I do have our own Discord server where we hang out, do some fun stuff. We play through games over on our Let's Play style, or our podcast style Let's Play channel, Degenerate Plays. That's in the description down below, along with all of our other channels and stuff like that. We played through some Kingdom Hearts games over there. And finally, we do have a store, cosmobunny.shop. You can use code DJAY123 for 10% off your first purchase. Coasters, keychains, trays, and more. We take printed paper, basically, so like books, like manga, comics, magazines, etc., that have been damaged. Local stores can't sell them. What we do is we kind of salvage these, make sure they don't end up in landfills. We make something new out of them, transformative for your home, and hopefully you enjoy it. Also, that same code DJAY123 will get you, well, actually it won't get you anything. It'll just support us on Fortnite. So, if you want to use it on Fortnite, it'll get you the satisfaction. What was it that EA used to say? You'll get a lot of pride and accomplishment from putting that in on Fortnite. And you know what? You can't buy pride and accomplishment. So there you go. Have a fantastic day, and as always, everyone, stay shui.